Welcome to the Context Machine, episode number 726. I'm Bryan Chaffin.
And I'm Jeff Gamet. Hey, go check us out on our website, contextmachine.io, but not until after you're done with the show here because, you know, we're all together for fun.
Yeah, fair enough. You can also use contextmachine.io to reach out to us. Or you can find us on Threads at Context Machine Podcast or on Blue Sky at contextmachine.bsky.social. Jeff, you have been exploring a topic that is near and dear to my heart, but from a different angle.
Yeah. Okay. So to cut to the chase, I've been looking for the best text editor tool for me. Now, the backstory is I do pretty much all of my writing in BB Edit. Even though I'm not using it as a code editor tool typically. And it's no secret based on recent shows that I am looking at my iPad Pro as my new on-the-go device instead of a laptop.
Do you use your on-the-go device as an on-the-go device when you're at home? Because we talked about it in the context of going out, you know, like in this case, covering a conference. But
I'll give you a qualified yes. So when I'm using my iPad at home, it's actually my favorite tool for video editing, and I like to use Prompt as the tool to SSH into the Raspberry Pis that I have running headless, you know, like for my Plex server and stuff. But then it's also my graphics tablet, typically. So I will sit at my desk right here with my iPad out and be working on art on it.
Okay, you're not answering my question, because my question was about using your iPad as your on-the-go writing device.
Oh, writing device.
Yeah,
sorry.
And well, I didn't specify, but I didn't think I would have to.
Yeah, well, you know, Mr. Mostly Pedantic.
I'm just being obnoxious. So again, our conversation last week was specifically about you being able to use your iPad as your go-to writing device when you're out covering a conference. So my question is, do you write enough outside of your home when you are in your home area?
Oh, okay. I can answer that question. Okay. Yeah, I do. I like to go to coffee shops and write from there, or occasionally I'll go. Friends will say, "Hey, come hang out at my office," and then I will write from their office. So yes, I use my iPad as a writing device, or also my laptop, whatever. I do a lot of local writing outside of my house too.
Okay. All right. So, all right. That essentially we have established the importance of this for you. So please continue. And we have established the importance of this to you for me. And as we all know, that's what counts.
That's absolutely true. Yep. I have a new shirt idea. It's all about Bryan.
Excellent. I like this.
All right. We'll make it. Okay. Anyhow, yeah. So the thing is, when I'm at home, when I'm at my desk in my office, I sit at my desk and I use my Mac for my writing.
Right.
So I need to have something that gives me a seamless process of going between writing on my Mac and writing on my iPad.
Yes.
And I've run through a bunch of different tools trying to find the right thing for that. And the tools that I had settled on at various points were IA Writer and Ulysses. And most recently, I've been using Ulysses because there's the iPad app and the Mac app. And but the problem is that if I'm writing in Ulysses, after I get over about 450 words on my iPad, and keep in mind, this is an M5 iPad Pro, it gets very sluggish.
Yeah. So what's the issue there, do you think?
I think there's just something in the way it's been coded. So, yeah. But anyhow, then once I open Ulysses on my Mac, that's not where I'm going to write. So then I copy the content out, put it into BB Edit where I write.
Good Lord. And stone knives and bearskins, man. That's outrageous in 2026.
Exactly. So what I needed was something that actually worked much more transparently. Also, I'm not comfortable with the idea of having all of this stuff that I write locked into a proprietary format.
Yeah.
It should all be text so that it doesn't matter what I use on any platform. I can just open the documents. So I've had a bunch of people, primarily Mike Schmidt, pushing me to. I'll have a link to Mike Schmidt's stuff. He's super cool. You people need to know him. Anyhow, he's big into Obsidian. And if you want to learn anything about Obsidian, you go check out the stuff that Mike Schmidt is doing. And so I'm like, well, there's so much that Obsidian does that I'm not going to use, so I won't mess with it. Finally, I went ahead and installed it because there's the Mac app and the iOS app, and it's just text files. So if you're into Markdown, you need to check out Obsidian. Anyhow, so I started messing with it and it was like, oh, here we go. I have a text editor that's not in my way. All the stuff that I'm not going to use is essentially invisible to me anyhow. Then when I go to my Mac, I can launch Obsidian if I want, or I can just launch BB Edit and open the same file. And I think I finally found the right tool for my seamless transition between writing on my Mac and my iPad. And I'll tell you what I really want for my ultimate solution for this is to have BB Edit on the iPad, which I'm not sure how that could work because there's so much that they're doing with BB Edit that requires the Mac.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Obsidian may actually be that solution for me. At least so far, it's working out really well. I'm very happy, and the past couple posts that I've written on my blog on jeffgammett.com, I wrote them in Obsidian, sitting at coffee shops, and then came home and opened the files in BB Edit to make sure that I hopefully caught all the typos, and it worked perfectly. But then I after saving the files out of BB Edit, I opened it back up in Obsidian, and they're still just fine. It's like freaking amazing.
All right. So I've got to ask, why aren't you using Scrivener?
Okay, that's a fair question. I think mostly for me, it comes down to everything that Scrivener does. No, there's a better way to say that. I believe that a solid 95% of what Scrivener does, I don't need for the type of writing that I'm doing.
Didn't you just say about Obsidian that the things you don't need don't get in your way?
That's true.
Just say that. As you're talking about bouncing, you're having to bounce between two different apps for writing your documents. And again, 2026, I find that to be barbaric and like a completely unnecessary step that you're putting yourself through. Right.
Okay. Let me ask you two questions, and I'm not trying to set you up for anything. Genuinely curious. Is Scrivener saving in a proprietary format?
I don't know. Well, so the Scrivener file, the project. Okay. So I think we need to actually back up and talk about how Scrivener does some of these things that you're needing to do on your daily basis.
Okay.
So you have a Scrivener project, and that Scrivener project is essentially a container. In many ways, Scrivener is a container app first. Right?
Okay.
And it's funny. So Pete Alden, who is my new podcasting partner for Working Writers at Working
By the way,
Writers.
congratulations on your new show. That's super cool.
Thank you. And we hope to launch next Tuesday as of this writing.
Awesome.
We're recording this on Wednesday, August 19th. So we should, 25th. I think August 25th is when we're going to actually launch. But we just recorded our 4th episode this week. And it was about Scrivener versus Word for writers.
Oh.
Right. So it was when I was putting together the notes for that discussion that it occurred to me that Scrivener is first and foremost a container app. It also is an excellent text editor, but it's a container app because your Scrivener project can hold everything. It can hold images, research notes, web pages, your text documents. And a lot of this is definitely aimed at writers because you've got a binder.
Mr. Mostly Pedantic?
Yes.
Specify what type of writers.
Book authors, fiction and nonfiction.
Okay.
Because you've got a. I don't know if this is going to reverse this, but this is my left hand, FYI.
Yeah, that is definitely your left hand.
You've got a binder, and I guess I could put a screenshot. I'll add a screenshot to this recording later. If you're listening to us, check us out on YouTube. Yep. And by the way, I see the Apple's added video, so we should figure out how to add our video to Apple.
Yeah. We'll have the interns get right on that.
Right, exactly. So anyway, you've got a binder on the left, and that binder has access to all of your documents. And when you click on a folder for, say, a chapter or an individual text file for your scenes, or however you're doing it, you get all of that to manipulate or to look at in one window, and you can compile out to an enormous number of formats.
Okay.
So the Scrivener binder file, that project file that is holding all your stuff, is in a proprietary format, but it lives on your devices.
Okay. And presumably there's a way to get into that I'll call it bundle, for lack of a better word, that package.
A project file, yeah.
Project file. And get out just raw text if you needed it.
Well, I don't want to get in trouble with our listeners, especially listeners who know more than I do. I've been using Scrivener for 16 or 17 years.
Nice.
And I think it's amazing, and I think it's a great text editor. I did my my D&D campaign in Scrivener. I've got a separate project file for the D&D campaign. It's got 40,000 words, hundreds of documents. It's got images. It's that's me using Scrivener for something outside of a novel or short stories.
Yeah, but that seems like a really good use for Scrivener as well. By the way, everyone, Bryan as a dungeon master, just fantastic. And the story that he was weaving for us. And now I understand that part of that is thanks to how adept he is at Scrivener. Yeah, fantastic story. And I'm very much looking forward to the day when we can all get back together and get back into this amazing world you've crafted for us.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. That's very kind. But I don't think you can take your Scrivener project file, your .sriv file or something, whatever it is. I don't think you can actually access that outside of Scrivener.
Okay.
But you pay once for Scrivener and you're paid.
Okay.
And obviously, any file that you have saved with the version of Scrivener that you own will always be able to be opened by that version. right? So
Yeah.
unless you have updated Scrivener, and then the updated Scrivener has then updated its file formats, there would be no change in those file formats. But that can't happen unless you have upgraded Scrivener.
Okay.
So I feel like Scrivener is absolutely a safe place, and you can save your projects on your local device or in Dropbox. I've been doing Dropbox because I started doing this before iCloud was really a thing. Or you can save them in your iCloud.
Okay.
So, and to have seamless opening between an iPad and your Mac, you need to have it saved in the cloud somewhere.
Sure, and that totally makes sense. And just for clarification, because I don't think I made this clear earlier, I can use Obsidian on my Mac or my iPad, so I can use the same app in both places, and it's a completely transparent thing. I just prefer to work in BB Edit on my Mac, so I am adding in an extra step that for most people is completely unnecessary. And I own that, and that's fine. But Obsidian on the Mac is actually really nice, and I really like how it performs.
Okay, that's fair, and I will have to accept that you are simply using your apps wrong, and be okay, and be okay with that.
Okay, so now that's fair. It's whatever. Anyhow, okay. So the second question I have for you, and this is because I genuinely don't know, how much does Scrivener cost?
Oh, it's I think it's $60. I'm looking right now,
and that's a perpetual license.
That is a perpetual license, and it's $59.99 for a standard license. Educational is $50.99, so $9 less. And there are often like discounts that you can get.
Okay, for a professional tool, that's dirt cheap.
Yeah, and I haven't paid for it in 3 or 4 years. I want to say at least 2 years, and possibly three, and possibly 4. So they only charge for major updates.
Okay, so they're generous with their updates along the way, and you probably paid an upgrade price and not full price. I'm guessing. Okay, so all right, I think they're doing that the right way.
I'm sorry about the dogs. The dogs are going nuts in my neighborhood.
It's because they love Scrivener.
Yes,
or maybe one loves Scrivener and one's like, no, use Obsidian. Okay, so the price structure for Obsidian, you can use the app for free. If you want to use their secure encrypted cloud sync service, you do pay for that. So their business model is selling you the sync service. Right. You can, however, just connect it directly into your iCloud account and just set up a directory on iCloud. And they warn you, hey, we're not giving you any encryption with this. Which in my case is fine because I already set up Apple's encryption for my accounts. So in my specific situation, I'm not actually having to shell out money to use Obsidian. And I get that if I shelled out would you say $59 for Scrivener?
It's $59.99.
Okay, so the $60 for Scrivener. Then and then I used only the probably 2 tools in it that I would need. I'm guessing. I have no idea. Well, I would still get my $60 out of it.
The tools that you would need from Scrivener include the ability to dump anything and everything associated with the project, right into the container file. So that's one tool you would use. You would also use the excellent writing environment. I could see you using the side-by-side view.
And what do I get in that?
I will stick another screenshot in onto the video that Jeff isn't seeing right now, but you get one window. You get two panes. You get a window with I don't know if my fingers might be getting cut off, but you've got
the important fingers are still there.
You've got one pane with the document that you're working on. Mm-hmm. You've got another pane with another document, be it a reference, be it an earlier version, say of an article that you're working on, or it's a web page or notes or an image that you've got that you're referencing. And you can click on either one of those panes for that to be the active pane that you're actually writing on.
Okay.
And there are excellent. Yeah. I know Obsidian also has excellent. I'm not bagging on Obsidian here, and it turns out I'm okay with you choosing to use Obsidian and being
thank
about
God.
it. Yeah. It turns out I'm okay with that. I just think that Scrivener is amazing, and it is absolutely an appropriate app for what you're doing. The fact that you can dump everything that you need into this container seems like that would be very useful to you. Can you put images in Obsidian?
Probably. I haven't experimented with that. And the other elements you're describing, that just everything you just listed out, I'm actually doing a lot of that already in Workona, which is a web browser extension. You have to have a Chromium browser or Firefox, and then you can do full-on project management and have all the assets and everything just right in a browser tab. Which, for a lot of the client stuff I do, that involves Google Docs, and so having everything right there in the browser window makes sense for that kind of a project. Yeah. Now, for my personal stuff, there would be no need to keep everything in the Workona ecosystem.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that unless I had to do it for a client, for instance.
Yeah, and for that stuff, holy forking shirt balls, it is so slick. Okay, the thing that I'm getting out of this really is that we are so lucky that we have so many great options that I could bounce between multiple tools trying to find the right one and not have to freak out like I will not find a thing that meets this special niche use. It's probably not that niche use case that I have. And when I find a thing where I'm like, I think I finally found it, then you can sit here and say, yeah, but you should check this out. And everything you rattled off, it's like, yeah, I see the value in that. And I just love that we have options.
There's also the compiling features. So you can compile out, you can take a document or your entire document. So this might possibly apply more to book writers, because you can basically choose which of the files in your project you're compiling out. But you can compile to a Word document, you can compile to a PDF document, you can compile to an EPUB, which I realize you're probably not ever going to need to do, or there are a crap ton of file formats that you can compile out to, and you can also compile out to an HTML document.
Okay, that's super cool.
Yeah, fair enough.
I totally see the value in that flexibility.
All right, I accept your apology, and we can move on.
All right. Well, okay. So everyone, here's my call to action. What do you recommend that I use, and why is Bryan wrong? Bryan's not wrong, but why is Bryan wrong?
No, I'm not. All of that was strictly a joke, because it does sound like Obsidian works fine for you. I suspect that Scrivener would work better for you if you were so inclined, but I also suspect that you don't need to be so inclined.
Hold on, let's look at their webpage. It looks like they have a free trial, so I could risk-free install Scrivener and do a comparison.
Right. I would be interested to see how you thought about the writing environment compared to BBEdit or Obsidian.
Yeah, I'll let you know. And I fully expect that when Mike finds out that I'm using Obsidian now, because he's been telling me for years at MacStock, you need to use Obsidian, and now I'm using it. He is going to like hone in on me and be like, okay, Jeff, you have to do this, and you have to do this, you have to do this, because the stuff he does with Obsidian is like on a whole nother level.
Right. I've got one of my author buddies, one of my Sirius Station mates, is a huge Obsidian fan, and he also uses Scrivener. Right. So, it's not one or the other for him, but he's always pitching the glories of Obsidian.
Yeah, there's people where their entire lives are essentially, no, what's a better way to say it? Obsidian is the nexus of their world.
All right, fair enough. So listen, we actually don't have much time. We've got a meeting that we've got to attend to, and we've got a very useful tip that we got from our friend Dave Hamilton.
Oh my gosh, yes. All right. Well, I'll jump in on the tip. So let's say you've lost your iPhone, like in your house or at your friend's house. You can set up a shortcut action on your iPhone that watches
our own house.
In our own house, yeah, or here in the Context Machine Studios, you can set up a script on your iPhone that monitors for a specific trigger word, whatever you want that word to be, in messages. And then when it detects that someone has texted you that trigger word, you can then have your iPhone play whatever sound it is that you want. So, it could be an alert tone or a song or a recording of Bryan saying, "I'm stuck in the couch," or whatever. And then that way, as Dave described it, you just borrow a friend's phone and type in your trigger word to yourself in messages, and then your iPhone starts playing the sound, and you can figure out where it is. And I think that's super cool. And for everyone that's saying, yeah, but I can just use Find My, well, what if you don't have another device to use Find My with in that moment?
Right. Like in this case, you're at your friend's house and you only have your iPhone with you, and it's your iPhone that's lost.
Yeah. Then just send a message to yourself from someone else's phone, and you can find that. And yes, we'll have a link to that in our notes. And Dave, that was a really cool tip.
Yeah. And so I kind of want to walk through how that works. So the script is essentially listening for incoming texts.
Yes.
And it would be triggered by this word that you chose. In Dave's reel, he uses the word Marco, as in, Marco Polo. That was his thing. And then he points out that don't use Marco, because now anyone who knows that you use Marco is going to mess with you and start texting you. So come up with your own word. But anyway, the script listens for incoming triggering words. When that trigger happens via a text message, that's when the sound that you have chosen to play will occur.
There you go. Yeah. I think that's a super cool tip.
It's a super cool tip, and I loved it. Thanks, Dave, for that. We've got a link in the show notes to that reel, and yeah, I think that's it, man. We're good. Is that right?
We're good. Hit some buttons.
All right. That's this week's Context Machine. If you have anything to comment on, add, or question, you can write us at podcast@contextmachine.io. Our bandwidth is provided by CashFlyer. The bass is by Dr. Boom, recorded just for this show. And Jeff, that's it for this week.
Awesome. Let's do it again.
Let's.